Happy June, everyone. We are back on screen. I've upgraded my camera. I'm excited to be here with you today. We have a very unique Feng Shui energy and flow happening this month. It does happen once a year. Every year, it can be a little bit challenging, but don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it, so stay tuned. Monthly, I share with you where the different energies are in your environment to use them to manifest more. I'm Jeanette Zizikowski, your go-to Feng Shui consultant. Daily, I work with the motivated, the successful, and the inspired to do just that. Use the energy in their environment to optimize their life and fast forward their success. Feng Shui in your space is all about using the external energy to your advantage. Have you ever worked out to get more energy, or maybe meditated to get more clarity on a topic before working towards a goal, before trying to accomplish a goal? These are both ways that we frequently, without really thinking about it, use our internal energy to accomplish things. Well, you can also use your external energy to support your efforts towards accomplishing a goal. Using your external energy influences who you meet and what opportunities present themselves to you. If you are clear on your goals and what you want out of life, in addition to you taking action towards those goals, Feng Shui will help you start to make those goals a reality. Before we look at what energy is present this month and how we can use that to accomplish our goals, let's get clear on what that goal actually is for June. At the beginning of every year in these forecasts, like in January, well, February is when we really look at the new year, Chinese New Year. I say, okay, what's the big vision for the end of the year? Where do you want to be at the end of the year in 12 months? Now let's break that down into bite-sized goals. So you have this big vision of where you want to be at the end of the year, and we break it into 12 steps. Easy example, I want $12,000 at the end of the year. New goal, every month I'm finding a way to make an extra $1,000. And you use the Feng Shui in your space to support you in doing that. So what is the next step in your bigger picture plan? What is the next step in this 12-step process for you? If you're just now starting, if you're new to this channel and this is your first Feng Shui forecast, welcome. It's not too late. We're almost halfway through the year. It's a perfect time to get started. So I mentioned that we have a very unique phenomenon this month. It's not really a phenomenon. It's not that unique. It happens about once a year, but it is very different. And it's a month that always feels a little strange. If you can see over here, the energy is duplicated. So these large numbers are the energy for 2023. This is the energies. Each one of these numbers has a different characteristic, and it shows up in each of these directions, and we use them differently to accomplish our goals. Some govern health, some govern money. Well, they're all duplicated this month. Last year this happened in August, and here's an example of how it showed up for me last August. I had more people than ever interested in a Feng Shui consultation. I think, my second year in business, and I had like 15 people that month interested in a consultation. And typically, if people signed up for an energy elevation edit and got to that point where they were interested, they were ready to go. They just wanted to know the different packages, and then they would pick one and go through. I had 15 people interested, and not one of them followed through with it. And I knew it was nothing that I did, because those calls aren't for me to convince anybody. But the pattern I was seeing with this duplicated energy is that there was this urge and desire for change, but nobody was making a decision. Everyone was feeling somewhat stuck, because we don't have different energies. When there's different elements interacting, they create change. When it's more of the same, it's more of the same. And so that's what we're going to talk about here. A lot of people in August, you could even go backwards and rewatch that one, and so many people were like, yes, like everything, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I don't feel like I'm moving forward. And it's a little bit different because we have, the month is a earth horse. A yang earth horse this month. And in August, it wasn't a yang earth. So there's all these different variables that create a situation. But so it is a little bit different. It won't feel as much as hitting a wall, because the earth horse is very fast and fiery. So there's going to be this desire for change, and it's going to be very fast paced. But what I can see is that it is going to be more of the same. Astrologically, a lot of cycles are ending, and this level up is happening in the planet, and there's a separation coming for this like jumping off point. Like, this is a big pivotal month where a lot of these astrological cycles are ending, and now we're going into this new shift. A lot of the eclipses and the retrogrades are all over, and we're shifting up. So Feng Feng Shui wise, remember there's 3 different, it's not even layers, but we can call them layers. There's heaven luck, man luck, earth luck in that cosmic trinity. So astrologically, we have new chapters happening. Feng Shui wise, we have things repeating. And I'm going to explain how this is all going to feel and how you can use it. Astrology is heaven luck. Feng Shui is the environment. And I wanted to read something from Jupiter Jewel Astrology from her Instagram. I think it's a her. I don't actually know whose page this is. I don't know who runs it, but they have very good horoscopes. And I really like how they summed it up. And then I'm going to share with you how Feng Shui applies. But this person said this was their interpretation of the full moon in Sagittarius. The enlightening full moon in Sagittarius brings clarity and learning experiences to uplift your spirit and boost your optimism and wisdom. Cycles are coming to a satisfying end, and soon you'll understand what you didn't know or see before. Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius and the full moon, shares an empowered embrace with the lunar north node, signifying that an ending and elevation in your life philosophy will influence an acceleration toward your destiny. Meanwhile, Uranus meets Mercury in Taurus, motivating you to awaken to new possibilities and upgrade your perspective. So while you have this download that comes in from the full moon in Sagittarius, that's this internal man luck, inspiration, astrology working together. Well, now we're going to try and separate. We're going to try and show up in the world that way. We're going to try and move towards that upgraded version of ourselves. The environment where all this energy is duplicating is going to hand you more of what you currently have. How are you going to handle it? This is big. Astrologically, if you use that energy to your advantage and you make new choices and you react to things differently, you will get different outcomes. So astrologically, we are being called to upgrade and change, and it's the astrological energy is pushing us that way and making it easy for us to have this upgrade. Feng Shui is what presents you with opportunities, what presents you with people, is what usually presents you with your external circumstances. But in this case, in this month, it's going to be more of what you have. So if you have a lot of worries and a lot of bills, more of that. If you have a lot of love, more of that. But astrologically speaking, you have this opportunity, you have new energy influences there. React to these things differently, show up differently, embody ideal you and how they would handle these things differently. Just because circumstances are the same does not mean that you should react to the same or that you should do the same thing. How are you going to handle more of the same? Are you going to continue to put up with it, or are you going to separate yourself from it, whatever it is? Are you going to know your worth and make better decisions, or are you going to settle for regret? This is how we look at both avenues here. So now let's take a closer look at what this environmental energy actually means and is doing. Let's take a closer look at balancing the elements in your environment. When you balance the elements, Feng Shui is about balancing fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. Each of those numbers represents a different element, and when they're duplicating, it's more of the same. So how do we balance that or suppress the overwhelming energy of maybe too much metal or too much earth? When you balance the elements in your home, life is easier. That's why we do it. That's when life feels in flow, is when we have like this nice harmonious Feng Shui. I am a big proponent of using the energy that supports your intentions to make those intentions a reality faster, but I understand that placing and moving the objects to chill out the energy is preferred by many people. People really like the visual cue, the visual trigger, and the feeling that they are in control and they've placed something somewhere. That totally used to be me. I'm a little bit more tapped into it without the objects, but I get it. And so here are the objects and the elements that you should place in each direction to calm that energy. With strong intentions of creating a peaceful, positive, and productive home, place those items with that emotion behind the placement. As you can see, the north, south, southwest, and west are good. It's more of good energy. It's more auspicious energy duplicating. So there's no need to add anything to these directions. In the southeast, we have double wood, so place some fire. In the northwest, we have double mischievous earth, so place some metal. In the northeast, we have double metal, so add in some bamboo. That gives that metal something to chop, something to do. And in the east, we have double sickness, earth. So add in metal as well, particularly a wooloo. That is what this symbol is. It's good to have on hand for those two energies. Okay, next, where's the best energy combo for you to use to accomplish that goal you set? The least advantageous direction, so this is not a direction we really want to be using. The least advantageous direction this month is the northwest. So if this is in your bedroom, don't have any like important pillow talk here, or just know that it might get kind of intense. And if you're feeling intense, if you have good communication skills and that suits the conversation, that's okay. But if you feel like things are getting heated quickly, that's because the energy in this direction. You may find that you won't sleep as well in this direction, or that you're super tired. It is an energy that kind of like pushes us and drains us a little bit, but it will pass. It will pass in 30 days. If this is your office, I would choose a different place to sign important papers or have any like risky conversations. But for some people, they can really use this 5 to their advantage. You can make some major moves. You can make some major decisions. 5, for the right type of person, can really be utilized to make some big changes. But for most people who are feeling overwhelmed, the energy that's in the northwest will just kind of make them feel more overwhelmed. The good news is the general theme of the Feng Shui is interesting in comparison to what's going on astrologically. So there's a lot going on with Leo in astrology. Astrologers are seeing that there's going to be like a lot of love in the air. I think they said for about the next 4 months because of a lot going on with Leo. And so that's interesting when we look at this, because this month we have 4, which is the peach blossom, like romantic energy, right in the middle, right in the center of our Bagua map. And often the middle is kind of the theme of the month, or it can add to the theme of the month. And so it's like a general tone. So I like that astrologically we have a lot going on with Leo and Venus, and Feng Shui wise, we have a lot going on with love. If your goal has anything to do with building your relationships, finding a romantic partner, working on your current relationship, or even just like getting along with your coworkers better, that peach blossom energy is a general likability. It can be romance, but it's a general, just like smooth relationship vibe. And so this is a month to really like hunker down on, what am I looking for in a partner? What am I looking for in relationships? Who do I need to be more of to attract what ideally I want? Okay, then the best energies and directions to use for this month are north, south, and southwest. I have other notes over here. In the north, we have an energy that's really great. So if your goal, what we look at now is like, think of your goal. Do you need more money? Do you need more eyes on you? Do you need to get your name out there? Do you need more clarity and wisdom? That's what these directions are. And when I point out the one that's applicable to your goal or supportive to your goal, have your morning coffee there every morning, open a window there every day for these next 30 days, journal there. That's how you use the energy in these directions to your advantage. So in the north, we have double 9. This is great for any business owners or entrepreneurs who need to be seen, who need to get a product out there, who need that fire illuminating them and their reputation and their fame. And it's also about to be our money energy, so it definitely helps with money as well. This is also good if you're looking for more friends and you're wanting to be more popular. This 9 energy in the north helps with that. So use that and be clear on your intentions and what you want help with. Then in the south, we have double 8. This is still great for money and abundance and just overall luck. So the 8 is great for that there in the south. Use it, use it, use it. I just mentioned how. And then in the southwest, we have double 1s. 1 is great for clarity, wisdom, mentors. If you need guidance, if you're like, I need somebody who's done this before to tell me where to go, to how to accomplish this. I need some advice. Or if you want to meditate more and get more clarity and get in touch with your intuition for more of those downloads, that is the direction to use in the southwest. I always end with an action item and reflecting on the last action item, because yes, you've set your goal, but maybe you need something to push you towards that momentum, or maybe you don't know how to get it started. And maybe you just don't really want to think about it and you want to be told, what can I do this month that will help me? So I always share with you an action item that is for sure going to help you make some progress and is for sure going to help you use this feng shui energy this month to make progress, whether you worked towards a goal or not. Last month's action item in honor of Mercury retrograde was to use retrograde to your advantage and circle back on something. So think of all the re's and going backwards to redo something. That's what Mercury retrograde is for. So in honor of that, the action was to go back and complete something that you keep putting off. How did that go? Comment below. I would love to hear how that went. I'd love to hear what you circled back on. Sometimes it's not a choice. Sometimes the energy presents something, brings up an ex that we really need to break up with, brings up an old friend we really need some closure with. Sometimes we don't get a choice on what we're going back towards. But how did that go? What did you redo? Where did you recharge? What did you reevaluate? I would love to hear it. And this month's action item is the easiest one I've ever proposed to you guys. I want you to find a pump up song, and by a pump up song, like something that gets you in the mood to accomplish your goal. So if your focus for this year is business or money related, you need to feel like a badass. You need to feel like charged up, like I can do this. I'm ready to go. I am motivated. I'm energized. I'm ready to take this on to make more money, to accomplish this business goal, right? So what is your badass pump up song? What is a song that just makes you feel like a boss? If your focus this year is to find love, what is the song that makes you feel like just so in love that it brings a tear to your eye? In manifestation, it's acting as if you already know it's done. It's knowing that whatever desire you put out there, that or something better is happening. And it's cultivating that feeling of confidence that what you want is coming towards you, whether it's a job, whether it's more money, whether it's the love of your life. But sometimes tapping into those feelings, if we've never had a lot of money, if we've never had that dream job, if we've never been in love, it can be hard to create those feelings. And music and song is something that really helps us get into that flow. So what is a song that like brings in that love vibe, if that's what your focus is for the year? My badass, like just get excited to go live on social media, because I used to just never be energized to do it. My song for that was Move Your Feet by Junior Senior. I would dance to it. I would jump around to it. I would just get pumped up to show up for people. That's an example of mine. I have a song that maybe one day, it's a little personal. I have a love song though that I listen to that just like makes me feel so tapped in and so just loved in general. And I just want that for you. And you know what? It always works. Finding these things, it helps you tap into it more. So what makes you feel your best, rich, sexy, healthy, happy? Find a song. And if you're open to it, share it below, comment below. What is your song? Like I said, Move Your Feet by Junior Senior was one of mine. Some Michael Jordan, like Space Jam songs used to be some of mine. So what is your song? Please comment below and share with me, please. How have these feng shui forecasts been helping you? What progress have you seen? How has it changed your life in any way? I would love to hear some of your feedback. In the meantime, please subscribe, comment below that song, how these have helped you, and I will see you next Saturday.